Kevin O'Leary tears into Harris's inflationary economic agenda. He said, we're getting Bidenomics 2.0, and it will destroy this economy even faster than what it's doing right now. I mean, just by her price controls alone would destroy would destroy this economy. It will make inflation even worse. It will make the cost of everything go up. It will make our shelves empty. I mean, this is not smart. I don't understand who she's trying to fool with this, with the price controls. So we're gonna play this video clip. But before we get started, go ahead and hit that like button, share this out so we can get this information out there. Subscribe if you're not already a subscriber, and hit that alarm bell so you know when I'm putting out new stuff. Also, check out my link tree in the description. It has a link to my Patreon. That's where I talk about things that I can't talk about here. Also, follow me on X, where I put my thoughts and a bunch of news throughout the day there as well. All right, so let's talk about this news now. This comes from Fox Business, and they report that investors are shocked by Vice President Kamala Harris's rehash of President Biden's economic agenda. Shark Tank Kevin O'Leary told Fox Business on Monday. The O'Leary Venture chairman, also known as Mr. Wonderful, spoke with Stuart Varney ahead of the Democratic National Convention, sharing that he's none too happy with the Democratic nominee's proposed plan to implement price controls if elected. So I'm just going to go ahead and play this clip here. Here we go.
Kentucky Democrat Governor Andy Beshear had to say about Kamala Harris's price-fixing proposal.
This isn't about trying to price fix. It's just making sure that the economy is operating the way it should, that this is really supply and demand, which we all respect. It's just making sure that coming out of the pandemic or in difficult times that people aren't increasing the price of food just to make a bigger profit.
Again, I said time and time again, when we ask for the evidence to show that there's price gouging happening, there's crickets. And then we already know from a study done from the San Francisco Federal Reserve that they did a study and found no price gouging. So what are these price controls really for then?
All it is making sure that capitalism stays within the guardrails, and it's not new. We've been doing this in the States for a long time.
Kevin O'Leary joins me now. I got a feeling, Kevin, that you really don't agree with that,
right?
Do you?
I can't wait to hear what he says.
No, I don't. And I have to look at it through the lens of an investor. I have to invest regardless of who's in the White House. So I really perk my ears up, Stuart, when I hear policy, as I did at a rally this weekend. I've spoken with dozens of investors, and we're quite shocked. Just from the 30,000 feet, we thought Harris was going to reboot her whole position to the middle. The idea was to get the swing voters on board with her with a middle strategy. Instead, we're getting Bidenomics 2.0, which is a shock. In addition to Bidenomics 2.0, if you look through the rally proposals, it's basically the same stuff they've been touting for the last 36 months. You've got this price control, price fixing patina on top of it, which we know doesn't work. If you go back to the 70s when we tried this in the U.S., it was a disaster. Look at Venezuela today, or North Korea, or the old USSR tried this. It leads to black markets. It leads to a complete loss of freedom of goods and the breakdown of distribution. I mean, this is a really, really bad idea. And I'm so shocked that she's doing it. We're all shocked. We can't believe this is the platform. We're almost stunned, because this leads to a position of just saying, well, you're getting the same thing you had. And Bidenomics as a brand is toxic waste to the swing voter. It's associated with inflation. All of these ideas are very inflationary.
Let's turn our attention to the Donald Trump side of the coin. One expert warns that Trump's tariffs could spark a trade war and an inflation shock within a year. What do you think to Trump's tariffs?
We did tariffs already, and the fear mongering. We heard this fear mongering before when Trump first initiated the tariffs, and none of that stuff happened. So what are they talking about?
Proposals.
The tariffs have been on for years, Stuart. This is basically a fight with China to get to a level playing field in trade. Personally, I don't like tariffs long term, but I understand them as weaponry. What I would prefer happen in either administration is to actually turn up the dial even hotter at a time when the Chinese economy is not in its strongest position, and force them to the table on IP law and reciprocal laws and access to public markets. And the reason I feel this way is not academic research. I'm an investor. I have positions in China. And just so everybody knows why I'm so biased, they have screwed me over the last 12 years. I have no access to their courts. I can't understand why they get to list their companies without the same cost and compliance that I have to pay. It's time to really make them understand no more access to the U.S. market unless we get a reciprocal place.
Absolutely.
Squeeze Chinese heads is what I'm willing to do. So I like tariff policies, not forever, but to turn the heat up to a blowtorch temperature now. Let's go.
Absolutely.
Yeah, understood. Entirely understood. Tariffs as a weapon, a negotiating weapon. Kevin O'Leary, always good. Thanks for joining us, man.
Yes.
See you again soon.
I love Kevin O'Leary. He has a lot of good insight, especially when it comes to business. Last Wednesday, Harris announced her intention to institute a federal ban on price gouging on food and groceries as president in attempt to stop so-called big corporations from taking advantage of consumers, a proposal that quickly became steeped in controversy with even mainstream media outlets questioning the logic. I mean, even when you lose CNN as a leftist, as a liberal, then it tells you how bad things really are. But the liberal-leaning Washington Post editorial board even wrote last Friday, whether the Harris proposal wins over voters remains to be seen, but if sound economic analysis still matters, it won't. And she because they even asked her, how are you going to pay for this? And she said, I'm talking about paying for the communist high rises that she want to build, and she said it's going to pay for itself. But the proposal also earned criticism from financial gurus like Dave Ramsey, who recently said on Fox News channel The Ingram Angle that it is not sustainable. Of course it's not. He said, quote, if you go back to the 70s when we tried this in the U.S., it was a disaster. Look at Venezuela today or Korea, the USSR. Everyone knows about that. Everyone knows this history. We try to tell them this, but she still continue pushing these communist ideals that doesn't work. Again, y'all know how I feel about this. They're intentionally trying to destroy this country, this economy. But y'all let me know what y'all think about this. Leave your comments down below. Like, share, and subscribe. And check out jjthepsychotherapist.com for the latest in news. Until next time, peace.